Hey friends, it's Shauna from withlovefromvinyl.etsy.com and lovelyrusticweddings.com. I'm getting ready to glitter some tumblers. I figured I'd hop on and record it while I did. By the time you get to the glittering stage, your cups have already been prepped with some sandpaper, washed with Blue Dawn dish soap, and then spray painted for a base coat if needed. Almost all of mine will have a base coat because I like to use a lot of white and lighter colored glitters. And I also do the Mod Podge method for glittering. So right now I'm using a matte Mod Podge. Hard coat Mod Podge is also great. I'm just using matte because that is the one that I got on Amazon for a ridiculously great price. So until I run out of that, that is what I'm using. When I put the glitter or the Mod Podge on, I kind of just slop it on all over to get coverage, and then I go through and pull out the ridges and the bumps because those will show through on your glitter. This cup is going to be the new white. I'm in the process of adding to the shop. I'm going to try to do it this angle so you guys can see it better. I have not added it to the shop yet. I took the pictures just a second ago, but I wanted to get the first layer of glitter on these cups so they can dry while I make that listing, and then I'll do the second layer. So this cup is a 22-ounce fatty, completely straight and a little thicker than a skinny is, so it's not going to fit in a cup holder most likely, at least not in my car. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit you guys. And I have not named this white glitter yet, but it'll be the newest glitter being added to the shop, and I love it. I think it's going to be great for pairing with blues, golds, and rose gold glitters especially because it's got like a yellowish, sort of a reflect back, but it's got that cool undertone too, which is why I think it'd look really great with blues. And this is the first layer of glitter, so you're going to leave the tape on. I don't know if you can see that cool undertone. Let me try to focus a little bit better. It's got that cool undertone, but also that like a yellow reflection back. So I just think that would look amazing with the golds and the blues. So that's it for this one. Oh, the sparkle is gorgeous too. The next one we are going to do is going to be white as well, but I'm going to use opulent opal for that one. And I do it the same way. The tape will stay on after this layer because it is just the first layer. That tape doesn't come off until the second layer of glitter. And then you're going to take it off. Right after you do the layer of glitter, you're going to take that tape off while the glitter layer is still wet. And that helps keep your lines nice and crisp. And you don't really pull any of the glitter away because the Mod Podge hasn't dried to the tape. I have pulled tape successfully after it's been dried, but you run the risk of creating a jagged edge where some of the glitter particles may come off with the dried Mod Podge. Just like I did with the other one, slop the Mod Podge on there, go back through, pull out all of the grooves to create a smooth layer. Sometimes I have too much Mod Podge on the brush as I'm going through and pulling it off. I just set the cup down because I generally don't glitter the bottoms. I can if requested, but because I don't glitter the bottoms, I can just set the cup down and pull some of that Mod Podge off the brush, pick it back up, and keep going. And the glitters that I'm using, most of them are available at withlovefromvinyl.etsy.com, and I try to tell you guys the names if it's a glitter that I offer. so that you guys, if you love it, you can go get it. If I forget to mention a name, you can comment below and I will do my best to answer. Once you get that coverage nice and even, you can go ahead and add your glitter. This one, like I said, is Opulent Opal. It's my most used white, and it's got a rainbow reflection back, so it's got a little bit of all the colors. So if you've watched any of my other videos, I've probably mentioned in the past, if I'm doing like a pink bottom, limelight, pink or light purple, limelight is usually the color the white I'll go for. That one's got a little bit of a, oh, you see that big old glob? Let me get that. Didn't even notice that it pooled up there under the tape. It's all right. It's the first layer of glitter, so it will be okay. Limelight is the white that I'll use because of the pink undertone. And it's got sort of a light greenish reflection back that just goes really well with pinks and lighter purples. So this one has that opal-y reflection back there. So, oh look, I'm going the wrong way. They're so hard to get. Oh, you sort of see it there. It's got a little bit of a rainbow reflection back. So that's it for this one. We're going to set this aside, let it dry. Tape stays on. And the next 3 we are doing are all ombres. The first one we're going to use, did I pull it out already? I did. No, did I? Yes. Gilded Grunge and Opulent Opal. I work messy, so ignore the mess. When I'm flopping on the Mod Podge, I literally am just flopping it on there. There's no rhyme or reason. I usually start at the bottom, work my way up until I get about halfway, and then I line that top edge. And right now I'm just trying to get coverage on the cup so that I can pull out the lines. And I do that, like I don't try to make it real thin to begin with because I don't want it drying while I'm getting the coverage. So if I put a lot on there and move it around, I don't run the risk so much of having the Mod Podge drying while I'm still working. At least in my experience. I'm a big fan of you guys do what works for you. If you already make cups and you know what you're doing, and you've got a method that works, fabulous. Okay, once you get all the ridges out, you are ready to glitter. I'm going to grab another plate. With the first layer of glitter on an ombre, I don't pay too much attention to where the glitter falls and whether or not it is a perfect ombre. I just get coverage. This Gilded Grunge is a custom mix, and it is actually the one I use. I don't know if you've seen it. I have a Raised on Sweet Tea and Jesus cup. No, let me make sure and it is the perfect orange-ish color. It's like a golden orange, and it works perfectly for the sweet tea cup. When you put the Mod Podge or the epoxy on, it does change the color a little bit, so it gets a little bit darker. So I don't know if you've seen, I'm tilting up while I'm sprinkling the Mod Podge on where I want the transition to start. But because this is the first layer of glitter, I'm not too particular about how far. I do want it to go a little bit more, but you've got the second layer of glitter to make it perfect. You don't have to get perfection on this first layer of glitter. But the big thing with the ombre is you're going to tilt up to let the glitter sprinkle down, because you want Mod Podge to show in between the particles of the glitter so that the next color can fill in that Mod Podge. Okay, so now we're going to do Opulent Opal, and we're going to start down here where we were still solid color with the Gilded Grunge, because we want the opulent opal to fill in all of the spaces here that Mod Podge is still showing. And you still, I still tilt up, let it sprinkle down, and it's going to look like it's heavier than it is because some of it's going to sit on top of the other glitter. And when it dries and you dry brush it, it'll pull off all of the glitter that wasn't adhered, and you'll be able to see better where the ombre is. And when I get to the solid color, I go flat and I just sprinkle it on like you would any other cup. And when we get to this part where we have to tap off the excess glitter, I try to hold the color area over the paper towel. Try to do this without hitting you guys, so that I don't get that mixed in with my white glitter. So that is this one. That is Gilded Grunge and Opulent Opal. Put these away. The next one we're going to do is Tiff's Treasure and Opulent Opal. Because that new white is so new, I didn't have it when I sold this cup. I actually haven't listed it yet. That's how new it is. So I don't want to... In the future, I would probably do that new blue with Tiff's Treasure. But because I didn't have it to offer as a possibility when this cup was ordered, I don't want to make a change now. So just like we did before, Mod Podge just every which way until it's on there. Making sure you get along the top and bottom edge really well. And then start evening it out. Once you get that even, it's time to glitter. So hold flat for that first color at the bottom until you are ready to start the transition into the next color. And once you're ready to transition, you're going to sprinkle down. Oops, I'm sorry, right in your way. Okay. And then you are ready for the next color, and you're going to do it the same way we just did. I'm aiming for where it is all solid color still, so that any area of Mod Podge is being covered with the Opulent Opal before we're going to turn it down flat and go to the solid color white. And then just like I did before, we're going to hold the blue area off over the plate so that only the white is over. Give it a little tap. And there you go. So we'll let this one dry. Now before we do the next layer of glitter, we will dry brush that to pull off any of the excess glitter so that we don't go our brush up when I'm putting on the Mod Podge. Okay, and this next one is going to be 3 different colors. And we are going to use that new white for the top. What are we doing? We're doing it in that order. I wanted to make sure I get my plates right. So you start the same way. Mod Podge on. And then even it out. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to check. I'm the worst at making sure you guys are on video. I apologize for that. We just have 2 little spots of stuff you need to pull out of there. All right, so once you get it even and covered, it's time for glitter. The first color is going to be a deep red that I do not currently have in the shop, though it is next on my order list. So we're excited about that. Start flat. Now because this is 3 different colors we're doing, the transition is going to happen a little sooner. So I'm going to go flat here. Make sure it's covered. And then almost right away I'm going to start tilting up. And if I decide I don't like where this transitions, or if I want it to change the colors at all, I'll be able to do that on the second layer of glitter. Okay. That is that one. Now I saved this cup for last, not because it was 3 colors, but because it had red in it. And whenever a cup has red, I feel like the red glitter, like, I mean, all glitters are fabulous, right? But they don't go away. I feel like red glitter is the biggest culprit of never going away. So anytime I have red in a cup, I generally save that one for last. I'm sorry, I'm in your way again. Oh my goodness. And so for this one, I am actually aiming for this section here where it's still one solid color and sprinkling down. And I held this one tilted the whole time because you have a transition when it first goes on, but you also have a transition at the top there where we're going to go to that new white we got. So I don't bother going flat with this one at all. Okay. Now this one is that new white that has no name yet. And we're going to hold it at an angle and aim for an area here that is all solid. And remember, some of this isn't attaching to Mod Podge, so when we, like this area here, some of that is just on top of other glitters. So after it dries and we dry brush it, we'll have a better idea of how the ombre looks. And the second layer of glitter is always the game changer for me when it comes to the ombre. It just feels like it turns out, it makes all the difference. Okay. So that one was the new white that has no name. This one was rose gold glitz. It's very similar to rose gold glam, but it's a little bit lighter. And this red is one that will be offered. Be on the lookout in about a week and a half. So it's coming to withlovefromvinyl.etsy.com, but is not there yet. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I am going to set this one aside to dry and probably hop on to go ahead and videotape the second layer of glitter. I've been kind of slacking when it comes to videos, so I figured I would do both steps for these cups to get kind of caught up. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks so much.